Hey, this is Joe Hernandez, the voice of 𝐓𝐷𝐢𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫 in Zelda Breath of the Wild, asking you to subscribe to 𝐓𝐵EVER and listen to our interviews and episodes together on this Zelda podcast, the 𝐓𝐳𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐴N Gamecast. And for all the latest up-to-date news on your favorite Goron, be sure to follow me at Joe Hernandez VO.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another update on Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Today I'm going to be revealing some information that I teased in yesterday's video relating to an upcoming Zelda announcement which not only concerns Breath of the Wild 2, but another Zelda game releasing even sooner. We will take a look at an article talking about a lot of other leaks and rumors and explaining some misinformation in it. And we will end by telling you where our leaks and rumors actually come from and why I personally trust them and believe them. Although E3 is cancelled, obviously a new trailer and more information will be coming that would have been planned for this year's E3. A week or so ago, we made a video covering what we had been told might be in it, as well as details not actually appearing in the trailer but revealed afterwards in interviews or announcements. Things such as a new easy or classic mode, removing weapon durability, a new more aggressive enemy to replace the Guardians, Zelda staying with Link and being even more important for the game, new islands or areas being explored. That last one specifically is the video that inspired the article you're seeing now, which for some reason also talks about a rumor concerning Breath of the Wild reusing the same version of Hyrule, which is a bit confusing considering that isn't a rumor or leak at all. It was literally one of the first things that Nintendo announced about the game, and something that we can even see with our own eyes in the trailer. In fact, almost every single interview with Aonuma or other developers also confirms this same thing. So again, confusing that they keep referencing this as a rumor or leak when a tiny bit of research will clarify everything. This article also has the subtitle, "A long-awaited sequel could be different in this one key way," and technically, no, because the thing they focus on is something that was already in Breath of the Wild with 𝐸𝐵𝐺𝐻𝐼𝐺𝐻 Island. It's just, we're probably going to be getting more experiences like that. But instead of being empty islands, will be actual villages. So they kind of blow stuff out of proportion, but it's all still true. It's just funny, the one thing that they focus on is that it's going to be the same Hyrule, and they continue calling it a rumor. Another thing that's sort of a misunderstanding, some of the stuff that I said as leaks with everything with a new video coming sooner than we think, or the game releasing sooner than we think, that was all told to me before this pandemic sort of took over everything. So obviously, along with every other game or movie and TV show in development, Breath of the Wild 2 will likely also see some sort of delay due to it. We have also had videos covering Aonuma and the new president of Nintendo's interviews and the announcements they have made about wanting to create an online multiplayer Zelda game using the Breath of the Wild engine, and wanting to put a big focus on Nintendo's online service and DLC, respectively. Next, we have the remake rumor. What we were told, basically, this year's E3 will not just have a trailer for Breath of the Wild 2, but a second Zelda game, which will most likely be a remake. Now, a lot of people have asked, if Nintendo is working on Breath of the Wild 2, why would they split their team and be working on a second Zelda game? And it's important to remember that Nintendo has around 5 or 6 completely different, fully staffed development teams that have all worked on or released Zelda games in the past few years. And most of them still have unannounced games they are currently working on, with some of them even teasing they are working on Zelda games during announcements or interviews. People like Tantalus that worked on Twilight Princess HD, which is a development team that only works on ports or remakes, and is hinted at being the team that is working on the Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD ports for Nintendo Switch. Grezzo, who worked on Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D, the recently released Link's Awakening on Switch. We have other third parties who worked on crossovers, such as the team behind Hyrule Warriors, the indie development team that worked on Cadence of Hyrule and its DLC, and we even have a team working with Nintendo directly for their confirmed and already announced mobile cell phone Zelda game, which was meant to start development long ago after Animal Crossing or Mario Kart released. And finally, we have Aonuma and Miyamoto confirming they were working on an unannounced 2D Zelda game that was not Link's Awakening, but an original game that they wanted to use to evolve how fans thought of 2D Zelda games. Finally, answering that last question, where do some of our leaks and rumors come from? Well, let me explain really quickly. I believe this all begins last year. It was several months before E3 2019. Someone had noticed that we had interviewed a lot of the voice actors from Breath of the Wild and had them on our Zelda podcast, the 𝐓𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫, as well as game developers and several other well-known people from the gaming industry that they were fans of. They had also mentioned some of our previous prediction videos on upcoming unannounced Zelda games and how they had mostly been correct. One of the first things they mentioned was that they worked at Nintendo, and I thought they wanted to come on as a guest as well. They denied the offer, saying they didn't want to risk anything, but wanted to stay in touch as they were just a fan. I thought, sure, why not? I usually talk to people through Discord or Twitter, but email works too. And now I know it was probably to stay anonymous, because after a few weeks they started hinting at stuff before finally coming out and revealing huge details on unannounced games. I never really posted any of the leaks or rumors they gave me, not being able to trust or verify them at first, but for fun, one day on the podcast, we were having an E3 prediction episode, using some of the information they had given me with information from other known leakers that I knew. I used some of the information as sort of a test without saying or revealing it was leaked information. I just wanted a video on record of me stating some of the leaks to see if they would come true, and a prediction video seemed to be the best way. Some of the things told: Nintendo would feature 3 different Zelda games during our E3 Direct. Breath of the Wild 2, a remake, and a spin-off, which of course we already knew at the time was Cadence of Hyrule and Link's Awakening, but they had already been announced. So why would they release new trailers for both of them if they had a 3rd Zelda game like Breath of the Wild 2 they would be showing off? You have no idea how many people told me I was stupid or an idiot, that Nintendo would never show off 3 different Zelda games in a single Nintendo Direct video. Why would they waste their time doing that? And guess what happened? Another thing. Nintendo would put Detective Pikachu on the Nintendo Switch, and there were several others. In future podcasts, as we got closer to E3, I would drop subtle hints at other things, and to my surprise, when E3 came and a trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 appeared after trailers for 2 other Zelda games, we were all live streaming from our hotel in LA for E3, and everyone but me jumped out of excitement. I was basically frozen and stunned that everything this random person who claimed to work at Nintendo ended up being true. Whether it was stuff that Nintendo had revealed before or during E3, and that is where the same information comes from, and that is where the same leaks and rumors comes from that we have covered today. So it's up to you to believe it, but we do have verified evidence of these leaks being true in our pre-E3 videos from last year. So if you stay tuned to our 𝐓𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫, be sure to pick up on some of the predictions that we start making. And that is what I will leave you with today. That's it for now, but a lot of rumors, news, and details are slowly leaking out. So please, stay subscribed and notified, and join our Discord to make sure you stay up to date on all Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 news. And you can find our Zelda podcast, the 𝐓𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫, here on YouTube and on iTunes, where we have had many guests who have worked on the Zelda series, and have shared a lot of amazing stories about voice acting, such as Patricia Somerset voice acting as Zelda, Mike Drucker on Zelda's writing or translation team, coming up with the jokes in the game, stories behind the names of characters that he created. Please subscribe and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you. If you are a fan of our Zelda videos like this, Zelda Theories, our Zelda podcast, the 𝐓𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐞𝐫, Games, we would all really appreciate your support at patreon.com/GameOverJesse. That and buying our t-shirts will get you and your YouTube or Twitch a shout out every week on our 𝐓𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐞𝐫. And if you send in a photo of yourself in our Game Over Jesse or 𝐓𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐝 t-shirt, we can use it for promotion at the end of some of our videos.